Chaos versus order. Dark versus light. Coke versus Pepsi. All things have their opposite. Some things exist in dualities, a struggle of eternally opposed forces, but what happens if instead these things are combined? The embodiment of duality and balance itself. Well, in the case of combining Coke and Pepsi, well, you get a lawsuit. But if it's every duality in the universe, you get one of the most powerful beings in Marvel Comics. The In-Betweener. What, that's their name? It's a real cat in comics, for real. Like, don't laugh. This cat might be one of the heaviest hitters in Marvel, period, ever. I'm Dan Umthan, and this is the Doomcast. Hey, thanks for watching. I make about one of these videos a week, and honestly, they're all great. So please do me the favor, hit subscribe and the bell. Also, big shout out to the people who decided to start sponsoring episodes. Among them, my friend Ben Brujo, who decided to sponsor this episode. Jim Starlin did drugs, guys. I'm not 100% sure of what, but I have to assume that whatever he was able to get his hands on in the mid-70s was premium stuff, because the kinds of stuff that he was cranking out at the time was absolute levels of bat country. We can't stop here. This is Starlin country. Aside from reinventing Warlock as a schizo messiah and giving him backup crew, including a troll, an assassin, his daughter, a titan, and his daughter, and Maxim, he added the In-Betweener to a pantheon of Marvel overgods. The In-Betweener first appeared in Warlock number 9 in 1975, which was written and penciled by Jim Starlin, doing double duty as he often does, even still today. After the first appearance of the Magus, which you recall from the last episode, well, 2 episodes ago, is the evil future incarnation of Adam Warlock. The In-Betweener acts as the fulcrum of the causality loop that transforms Warlock to Magus the very first time. Magus hits Warlock with a radiation signature for the In-Betweener to track. Thanos guides Gamora to slay the Magus before he can do so, but is wildly unsuccessful. The In-Betweener is there to transform Adam into a champion of life because the champion of death has arrived. Of course, that's Thanos, and he's fighting the Magus in the present. And that's kind of the In-Betweener's whole frickin' deal. Morality really isn't as much of a concern, so much as balance. The maintenance of balance is its objective, and also part of its nature. The In-Betweener is a living embodiment of duality, and it has all the power it needs to maintain that in the universe. The In-Betweener is both everywhere and nowhere, neither dead nor alive, neither real nor imagined. It lives in between all of these concepts. Confusing? Yes. It described itself as a concept of concepts. It can do pretty much anything on scales impossible to almost any other beings. It sent Adam Warlock back 5,000 years in time after locking him in its realm between reality and illusion. It can manipulate reality, matter, space, time as it wills, and is apparently only really susceptible to its own motivations or its composite forces, which are the Lord Chaos and Master Order. These two governing entities' power are what comprise the In-Betweener. And yes, the In-Betweener is basically a living yin-yang symbol. And while In-Betweener is definitely one of those characters that is so overpowered that they become a benchmark for how OP somebody else is, like, oh yeah, they beat the In-Betweener once. Yes, Doctor Strange did that. He summoned the forces of chaos and order at the same time, redirecting them at the In-Betweener to stop it from making all sentient beings insane. Brilliant plan. And the In-Betweener thinks of itself as part of a dyad as well, that Galactus is its opposite, whereas Galactus is eternally living, an embodiment of entropy that's effectively amoral. The In-Betweener encompasses both death and life and all sides of morality, neither living nor dead, as we established. But it has attempted to destroy Galactus before, and to that OP gauge role, which it also fills, In-Betweener was subsequently defeated in those instances by Fantastic Four and Thanos, of course at different points, both times ultimately subject to its components, Lord Chaos and Master Order. and in Al Ewing and Travel Foreman's batshit crazy Ultimates 2, where among other things Galactus was revealed to have simply been undercooked. Yes, really, he just needed more time in an incubator to become a cosmic life-bringer. Anyway, at one point, In-Betweener fused chaos and order into one entity called Logos, balancing them, as is the function of the In-Betweener. That said, it's almost never a good thing when In-Betweener shows up. It's entirely overpowered, a living concept bound by dual universal concepts, generally implacable, very cranky, more often than not, tussling with its going to leave you transformed, time warped, erased from reality, or driven absolutely insane. Fun! Thanks everybody for watching this week, and thanks again, Ben Brujo, for suggesting this and sponsoring it. I appreciate all of you for watching. Please do me a favor, hit subscribe and the bell. We'll see you again next week for the 400th episode.